Hello, this is Marion Stewart, and I'm here talking about perimenopause and menopause, and I'm here to tell you that this doesn't have to be the end of life as you know it. And I'm going to talk about an interesting journey that I'm on at the moment, which if you're suffering or if you know anybody who is at this particular life stage, might be a really important lifeline for them. So my background is that I have been helping women. I set up an advisory service many years ago to help women with PMS, and it was all research-based, but using the non-drug and natural approach. And then we graduated over time because there was research to help and support the menopause, and we then, in 1990, we launched a program for menopause too. So we've been helping women all over the world, and I've written lots of different books and done lots of broadcasting on this subject and other subjects as well. And we know that over 90% of women on our program are symptom-free within the space of 4 or 5 months, depending on which program. So it's a lovely story. And in fact, I was in my clinic yesterday, and I had 3 amazing PMS success stories and 3 amazing menopause success stories. People who've been housebound, they just couldn't live life as they knew it anymore, had to give up work, they just couldn't function, they couldn't sleep, they couldn't have normal relationships, they were putting on weight. Their life was really in the dustbin, and they didn't really know how to deal with it. And just literally months later, so most of those people started with me, I suppose, about the end of last summer. And now, in the new year, yesterday we were talking about how they were symptom-free and going on doing retraining, starting new businesses, getting a job, doing all sorts of different things, and feeling like they really can again because they feel probably better than they can remember for some time. So 7 weeks ago, I went on a course run by Jessica Brace in Florida to learn how to broadcast live on Facebook. Because although I know how to help women, I don't know the first thing about Facebook or broadcasting online. And so I thought I could use a day's help. And while I was actually with Jessica, I realized that I had a goal to set up a community for women to help them to decipher the information that's out there so that they can get the best information that science shows works, depending on their life stage, but focusing on women probably from midlife onwards, because we have so much to do to keep ourselves in good shape, and no one really tells us how to do that. And if you think about the fact that 100 years or so ago we weren't living much past 50, so it wasn't really relevant, whereas now that just represents the halfway mark for so many of us. So we need to learn not just about how to meet our needs to control our symptoms, but we also need to learn to meet our needs to prevent things like osteoporosis, heart disease, and dementia in the long term. And there's lots and lots of research to show that you can do that. But unfortunately, a lot of the medical profession are not really educated, and so the information doesn't get through to women. So I thought it would be a nice idea to have a community. So while I was at Jessica's course, it suddenly occurred to me, because we were focusing on Facebook, that I could actually set up a community on Facebook. I could call it Midlife Switch, and I could start helping women straight away. So I thought that would be good. I could practice making a few films. I'm writing a new book called Beat Menopause the Natural Way, which is going to be launched. Part of it is being launched next week and the rest of it later on this month. So I thought it would be a great place to start, thinking that I may attract 100 or 200 people. But actually, in 7 weeks, I've made a series of little films, and up till today, over 250,000 women have actually viewed those films, which is incredible. Absolutely, I'm astounded that that's happened. And over 1,500 women have actually come to Midlife Switch, our group, and joined, and are sharing some of the most harrowing stories I've ever heard. And I don't know how they manage, many of them, but they do, and they're clinging on by their fingernails. And I was so taken aback by all the suffering, even me, who knows about these issues because I've been helping women for more than 25 years, but overwhelmed by the number of young women who've had hysterectomies, young women who've gone into an early menopause, perimenopause coming and women not expecting it, not knowing what it is or how to deal with it and thinking they're going crazy, women going through the menopause who are struggling. And I just felt I've got to provide these women with some help. So after the holidays, I've been talking with my extended team, who are technical, know much more about the back end of things than I do. And we're going to be launching a whole initiative starting next week. So next Monday, people will be able to go to my website, marianstewart.com, and sign up so that they can get the first part of the book. And that will just be on a download, which will be free. And then a few days later, they're going to be able to sign up for a webinar, which will be free as well, 90 minutes of time with me where you can get your questions answered, and also talking about different aspects of this life stage and how you go from A to B so that you go from being in an awful state to being well again. And then later on in the month, for those who can't manage to self-help completely, I'm going to be launching a 6-week course. So all the information will be in Midlife Switch. I will post it on in Facebook as well. And hopefully in the next week or so, it will all appear as a place on my website as well. So if you're suffering, or you know anybody who is suffering, you must understand that you don't need to go on suffering anymore. You can learn to meet your needs at this life stage. We found through lots of research that very often people have got low levels of important nutrients. And obviously we know that when you go into menopause, your estrogen levels fall. So we need to get your hormones back into an optimum range. We need to get your nutrients back into an optimum range. And at that point, it's like a light bulb going on and the factory starts functioning again. It's a bit like turning back your biological clock, and you can actually reclaim your well-being and you overcome your symptoms and you just get your energy and your mojo back again. So please join me on this journey. I'm very excited to be doing it at this time. I'm excited that it seems to be something that women need a great deal, and to have the information. And as time goes on, we're going to be inviting other experts as well to come and impart their wisdom. So it will be a good place to be if you're suffering, or even if you just want to know how to look after yourself after the menopause, because it's not a given. You've got to learn how to meet your needs at that life stage too. So come and join us at Midlife Switch and see what's going on, and the program will be rolling out in the next week or so, and I would very much like you to be part of it. So please pass this around to your friends as well, and any organisations you know who may be interested too, because obviously the more people that come, the better, because it means I can get the message out to more people and reduce the amount of suffering. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll be back again to give you more updates, and just watch the website and Facebook, Midlife Switch, or my Marian Stewart page for dates of how this is going to roll out. Bye for now.